Morning and welcome to Follow the Reader, a mini video series in which I interview a member of our community to share our thoughts on books, reading, and the library. My name is Karen Leahy and I'm the Digital Services Librarian at the South Kingston Library. Today, I'm joined by Brandi Fong, our Youth Services Librarian. Good morning, Brandi. How are you?
Hi, Karen. I'm well. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How long have you been working with us?
So I actually started in circulation back in, maybe 2004. I then went to, got my master's degree in library science and started full-time in the job that I'm in now in 2008, actually. Great. So it's been a while.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So let's jump right in. What are you reading right now?
Okay, so I read multiple books at once and I work across all different age groups. Like my title is Youth Services. So I do everything from babies, but then I also do our teen services and I work on our reference desk. So I've discovered I read very widely across both age groups and genres. So I have a few to share and I'll share quick.
Yeah.
So one of the ones I'm almost done with is Dead Silence. It's an adult fiction where a space crew answers a random distress call and finds this luxury cruise liner that disappeared 20 years ago in space on its maiden voyage. And it's kind of described as the Titanic meets The Shining, which is a really good description. It's creepy and you're not quite sure what's happening and feel like ghost stories, but science fiction. I am also reading City Spies, book 3, Forbidden City. Sorry, I'm trying to find the right. There we go.
There you go.
There we go. And this is the third in a series for middle grade readers. And it's about a group of orphans who work undercover for M16 doing spy work. So completely implausible, but lots of fun. And I'm almost done with both of those. So I'm kind of excited that this morning when I came in, a book that was recommended to me by a teen, Heartbreak Bakery by A.R. Capetta, had come in. And it's about this teen who named Sid who works at a bakery and starts making brownies that cause everybody around them to break up, including the people who own the bakery, not Sid and Vin, Alec and Vin. So Sid has to find a way to get Alec and Vin back together so he can have his beloved bakery space. And so a little bit of magical realism, a little bit of romance, kind of fun. So, and that's what I'm working on right now.
Great. And do you have a favorite book you've read recently?
Okay, so again, I'm really bad at picking one of books, so I have a few to share. Okay. So I actually love cookbooks and I track cookbook releases and request them and read through them the way that some people do New York Times bestsellers. And my current favorite is, there we go, Mooncakes and Milk Bread by Kristina, and it's sweet and savory Chinese bakery recipes, and I'm absolutely loving the stories in it and baking through it. So
yeah, so what have you made from it? What have you made from it?
So I've made pineapple buns, which there's a milk bread recipe, which is your base recipe, and it's kind of like a really fluffy, not super sweet bread that's great for sandwiches and all kinds of things, but you can use that as your base to make a bunch of sweet things and savory things. And one of the ones I made was pineapple buns, which actually has no pineapple. It's due to the name of a topping you put on it that has cross hatches like a pineapple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like just barely sweet. It's good for like afternoon tea or coffee or breakfast. That's been my favorite. I also, in this one, I don't actually have the book with me, unfortunately. I really liked the final revival of Opal and Nev by Dawnie Walton. Okay. It's an adult historical fiction, sort of historical fiction. It goes back and forth between present times and the past. And it follows an unlikely 1970s rock duo of an Englishman named Nev who finds Opal in a dive bar. She's a Black woman singing in a dive bar in Detroit, and the record company pushes them together and they become unlikely stars. But they have a very like tragic storied history and breakup of the band, and there's a lot of secrets there, and a current day reporter is reporting on their possible reunion and uncovers a lot of that. So kind of like if you like Daisy and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid, kind of like that, but more serious and a little less interview format-ish. And then finally, the other one I don't have with me right now, I really liked Maizy Chen's Last Chance by Lisa Yee. It's a middle grade book about this girl who, she and her mom have to leave California to go take care of an aging grandparent. And she learns about her family's Chinese history of how they immigrated and what life was like for them in the 1800s, and how they ended up running the restaurant, as well as solving sort of a present day mystery about the restaurant. So it's about family and finding your place and who you are. So that one was really good also.
Great. Those all sound really good.
A variety of, like I said, I read fairly widely and across many genres and age groups.
Yeah. So. Okay. And for your many books, are you a bookmark person? Do you use a real bookmark? Do you use found bookmarks?
I use whatever is closest to me.
Yeah.
Like for example, in City Spies right now, I have the hold slip that came in the book. So
yeah, very handy.
I am whatever is within reach, basically.
Okay. And do you have a favorite reading snack or drink?
Depends on when it is. Like if I'm reading in the morning, I like my cup of coffee.
Yep.
Just either black or with just milk, never cream or sugar. Later in the afternoon, maybe a polar seltzer. But again, specifically polar, not anything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah. And do you have a favorite place to read?
I do read in bed a lot, which I like it later at night because I'm just tired and it's comfy. Yeah. But if it's during the day and I'm reading, I actually have a big oversized squishy reading chair that which always has my blanket and my ottoman and often my cat as well. It's right next to the window, and it's a good place to curl up for the afternoon.
Nice, cozy.
Yes.
And what do you love about libraries? So
I know this has been asked to a bunch of people, and a lot of times the answer is a lot of the tangible things we offer. But one of the things that I really love is something a little less measurable. For example, I had a teen come in recently and they were all excited and they held up the book that they had with them and they were like, I loved this. I felt so seen and you need to read this. And I loved that moment because I love that we created a community and connection at the library where they could come in and share this and feel like they aren't alone. And I mean, that extends to other interactions too. Like we have an older patron who comes in and the circ staff knows his name and he comes in and they chat and he reads the paper every day. Or this past Saturday, I actually had a mom whose her toddler was coloring while I was in the children's room, and she and I somehow we ended up talking about hiking. Yeah. And later in the conversation, she told me, she's like, this is my first grown-up conversation all day. And it's so refreshing. And I think that's one of the things I love about the library. Like it's a smaller thing and it's not so measurable, but I love that we can foster that sort of connection and community for people. That's what I love about the library.
That's great. And do you have any special memories of either this library or another library that you could share with us?
So I think one of the cool things is the library I used to go to when I was a little kid is actually the Robert Beverly Hale Library, where I do all the children's services now. So that's pretty cool. But one of my favorite memories is actually as a librarian there. And I was doing a story time many years ago now. And during my story times, we do a lot of chatting of our favorite colors and animals and a lot of conversation versus just reading. And I didn't realize how much until one day I held up a book that had a spread of animals on the page. And I asked the kids, I was like, which one do you think is Miss Brandi's favorite animal? And this 3.5-year-old kid, he like raises his hand all the time. He's like, oh, I know, it's the frog, it's the frog. And I was like, okay, what makes you say the frog? Never seen a kid roll his eyes and sigh so much as he goes, because it's green. Like And that is my favorite color, and I do tell them that all the time. But that was his reasoning, and he was like, "Why do you not know this? It's because it's green. You like green, hence it's the frog." So I always think that look back, and I think that's just kids are funny.
Yeah,
and it makes me smile and laugh because I've
great.
probably been quite so exasperated with me. He's probably deserving, but yeah.
Great. Well, that is all the questions I have for you today. Would you like to nominate the next reader?
Sure. Actually, I am going to nominate Sharon Babbitt. She's our children's librarian at the Kingston Free Library.
Great, thank you.
I hope she hasn't gone yet.
No, she has not, so that'll be good. I'll have to get her ready to come on. Well, that is all we have for you today on Follow the Reader. See you next time.
All right. Bye, everyone.